Welcome back, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because, well, we are stepping into a true masterclass. We're going to be unpacking the hidden forces that literally dictate everything from your morning bus commute to global freight shipping. Today's explainer is a total deep dive into transport market dynamics and equilibrium. We're breaking down the complex economics of transport into crystal clear visual concepts. And by the end of this, you won't just understand the theory, you'll be calculating market shifts like an absolute pro. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this syllabus. Today we're covering 1. The transport market equilibrium, 2. Shifting the demand curve, 3. Shifting the supply curve, 4. The golden rule of shifts, 5. Government subsidies in action, and 6. Your final exam challenge.
The transport market equilibrium.
So, in transport economics, equilibrium is this perfect, harmonious state where the quantity demanded exactly equals the quantity supplied. It's the absolute sweet spot. At this exact point, there is zero excess demand, meaning no passengers are left frustrated waiting on a platform, and zero excess supply, meaning no buses are driving around completely empty. It is just pure, efficient allocation of transport services.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about here. We have our downward sloping demand curve, which represents the passengers or shippers who obviously want lower prices. And then we've got our upward sloping supply curve, representing the transport operators who want to provide more service when prices are higher. See that point right in the middle? That is the exact intersection point of market equilibrium. It's the precise price and quantity where both sides of the market completely agree.
Section 2. Shifting the demand curve.
Now, we call these variables the determinants of demand. Basically, what makes more people want to travel, even if the ticket price stays exactly the same. Well, first up, income levels. When people earn more, they travel a lot more frequently. And they might even shift from buses to faster modes like air travel or private cars. Second, population and urbanization. I mean, a growing city naturally demands more transit, right? And third, general economic activity. When the economy is booming, freight demand literally skyrockets because there are simply more goods being produced and traded. Any one of these factors will push our entire demand curve to a completely new position.
Section 3. Shifting the supply curve.
Just like demand, supply has its own external determinants. Technology is a massive one here. When we introduce things like high-speed trains or optimized routes with digital ride-sharing apps, we instantly increase the efficiency and capacity of our supply. Then we have fuel prices. This is a huge operating cost. If fuel prices spike, operators might actually have to cut back on services, which shifts supply. And finally, government subsidies. When a government steps in with financial support, it really encourages operators to provide more service than they naturally would in a standard free market.
Section 4. The golden rule of shifts. To keep track of all these movements, transport economics expert Dr. Ahmed Ezzat uses a really powerful heuristic. Right means increase, or as he beautifully states it in Arabic, al-yamin baraka, meaning the right brings growth. So the crucial point is, whenever you are analyzing a market shift, whether it's demand growing because of higher incomes or supply expanding because of some new technology, an increase in that market force is always a shift to the right on your graph. Seriously, burn this rule into your memory. It makes solving complex economic problems completely intuitive. Remember, right means increase.
Section 5. Government subsidies in action. Let's move to and see how this builds on our golden rule in a real-world market intervention.
We are going to anchor our math right now around a specific bold number provided in Dr. Ezzat's masterclass examples, a $3 subsidy. Imagine the government decides to intervene in a local transit market, and they offer operators exactly $3 for every single unit of transport they provide. So what happens next?
Let's break down the mechanics of this shift step by step. Step 1. The government applies the subsidy. Because this lowers the cost burden on the producer, they can afford to offer more services. And hey, remember our golden rule? Right means increase. The entire supply curve physically shifts to the right. Step 2. Because supply is increased, the new intersection point with the demand curve slides down the slope. This means the new equilibrium price drops for the consumer. And step 3. At this new lower price, more people decide to actually use the transport service. The quantity consumed increases. Just like that, a simple $3 intervention completely rewires the market equilibrium.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the triangles of social welfare visualize the true impact of that shift.
We have consumer surplus in yellow. This represents the real value consumers get by paying less than they were actually willing to pay. And then there's producer surplus in green. That's the gain operators make by receiving more than their minimum acceptable price. When that supply curve shifted right because of the subsidy, it didn't just lower the price, it physically expanded these areas. Both the consumer and the producer actually gain from this intervention. The benefits are shared.
Section 6. Your final exam challenge.
Okay, let's say the original market equilibrium price for a train ticket is $10. The government steps in and provides a $3 subsidy. As a direct result, the new price the consumer pays at the ticket booth falls to $8. Here is your final challenge. Calculate the producer's effective price, as in, how much are they actually taking home per ticket now? And secondly, identify the gain distribution. Out of that $3 subsidy, exactly how many dollars did the consumer gain and how many did the producer gain? Think about the math here. Think about those shifts. Grab a pen, draw out the curves, and work it out. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll see you next time.